Hello, welcome. Saturday afternoon, so time for a beer. This is the stout on hand pull. It's very good. So, what to talk about? The beers are doing very well. I've been mixing it up a bit at times with this. I opened this. This was the 80 shilling that I kind of bottle stroke cask conditioned in a way. It was the leftover from the fermenter that didn't go in the keg, so I put it into here and let it sit, and it's carbonated slightly, which is sort of a level of cask when cask isn't on hand pull, when it's just poured straight from the keg. There was a pub in Penzance I used to like sitting in on a Sunday afternoon with a book, and they had a range of casks they used to have up on the wall, sort of along like the back wall, and they just pour from the tap, and it's very much like that. So I've been mixing it up with this to make like a black and tan. Not had a black and tan in ages. It's been very nice. So what else? We brewed. Finally, I did it this morning. Where's that come from? I did it this morning. God, I've been... After the last video I did, which maybe was that Monday, Tuesday or something. I think it was Monday. I got a real bad fever. Oh, it was awful. I must say I've kind of just recovered really from it. To feel perfectly fine. Yesterday I was still feeling really weak and a bit groggy. Day before, just banging headache and aching shoulders and back. But that first night I was shaking like a shitting dog, just laid in bed, just like... No idea what it was, not COVID. Took a test, clear. The wife had it a couple of days before, and so has my eldest. None of them have tested positive either, so just something going around, and obviously being away from everybody, it must have just going around very, very rapidly on people. It's not often she gets things. She didn't even get COVID when I got it. Neither did my eldest. Anyway, on to beer. So I brewed. I did the Hey Little Citra, my sort of doing the vacant gesture, but with Citra instead of the mosaic, which was very nice. I've had it before and I really enjoy it, so I thought I'd do that as a keg filler. Then next I think is going to be a NEIPA, as I said in the last video or the one before, I'm not sure when, followed by possibly an Old Ale or a Belgian. So that's the brewing bit. Well, sort of laying on the sofa, not really recovering, just feeling like shit still, but not really feeling like being able to do anything, and having no car to go anywhere, and being on holiday. It was a bit of a shit holiday, I know. I decided to catch up on brewing, catch up on what I've missed on video. Well, not so much what I've missed, because that took me forever. I went through letter by letter all the brewing subscriptions I have. Wow, they must have 100, 150 subscriptions, brewers. And it was interesting to know how many are still there and how many they've deleted their videos. I think it shows their channel, and I go on their channel and there's nothing there. So there's a few of that. It's the odd one where they've deleted themselves completely from YouTube. Yeah. So I need to go through and clean all that up. But I did try and catch up on anything within the last 6 months. The first video, if I haven't seen it, if as I've worked through, I've seen what their latest video is. As I'm like scrolling through, see the latest video. If it's more than 6 months ago, I'm leaving it and moving on to the next person. So I tried to catch up with quite a few people and some comments and such, and yeah, it was good. And now I had seen this before, last week I think it was Jimbo Homebrew's video on 5 accessories or ideas that he feels are a game changer in the brewing. Then I saw Crew Wolf had done his version of the same thing, and almost similar but on a parallel note, but he must have seen it, I don't know. Big Banana has done 5 things if he was a new brewer, he would want to know kind of things that he would want to know about. So I thought I'd do mine today, do my version of it. So I had a ponder of it, and I think I'm pretty much with most people on some things and a bit different on others. So here goes. At number 5, well, it's like my number 1 most important, I'd say. It's definitely this. Pretty much everyone else is your fermentation fridge. Any way of controlling fermentation temperature, because it's a big thing, isn't it? You're going from storing demijohns and buckets in rooms and then moving them to different places, putting jackets around them to try and keep them at a constant, but it doesn't work, does it? Because obviously yeast itself, when it's going through the process of chewing through your sugars and creating alcohol, etc., it's a chemical process, so it's creating heat energy, so your water's getting hot, so unless you're keeping it cool. So yes, a fermentation fridge or something similar. For me, I'd say it was an old fridge. Got an old fridge, second hand off Facebook, 40 quid, went, picked it up, brought it back, built up an STC 1000 with a couple of sockets in a kit box thing. That's on top of the fridge. Connect it through to a tubular greenhouse heater, and away you go. You've got heating, you've got chilling, you've got control. Other people do it with the Inkbird, just the same. I think when I did mine, I don't think Inkbirds were as well known, or as certainly not as cheap as they've become. The easiest solution was the STC 1000 in a kit box. That's possibly actually that's probably not number 1. That's maybe my number 2. That's my number 2. So I fucked this up. So we'll go back in my number 1, which is some similar lines to Crewwolf said. He said community, and I'd whittle that down to YouTube and Facebook. Facebook, the BrewTube for the community, more so as a community than YouTube, because YouTube, you build ideas, you get help with your builds, you get recipes, you get designs, you get community, you get inspiration and ideas. You get so much. You want to do something, look on YouTube. Someone's done a video about how to do it. So this relates back to the fermentation fridge. Where did I get the idea? YouTube. How did I learn to do the STC 1000 build in the box? YouTube, because someone's already done it. So yeah, my number 1 thing would be YouTube and the Facebook. Obviously I'm going to go BrewTube official for that, because being an admin in the group and an active member for a number of years, I'm going to pick that. But definitely YouTube, and specifically the brewing community on YouTube. Yeah, number 2, the fermentation, and number 3, I would go with this book. I certainly would. This book. It's my number 3. Go to. Why? I would say because some of the things it is so simplified. Now, a lot of the books, like say that one, a lot of good recipes from a lot of major brewers, but you don't really get much in the way of styles. I mean, you get some styles, but it's not really. It's quite limiting in styles. Whereas these recipes are not specific to any one brewery, but they are what I'd call probably general base of the style of. So you want to learn about style, make a beer out of here, try it, see what you think, play around with it from then. But this is a good start guide. Absolute, and I'm still using it now all the time. Hop guide. that's a good hop guide. I've looked at yeast guide. I think there is as well to get an idea of some yeasts. But definitely, it is the recipes. This is all about the recipes for me. So that would be probably number 3 for me. And number 4. See, when you go from that basic brewing and then you add the fermentation, your brewing goes from there up to here. The change. And this point is a similar sort of change for me. It's just a game changer that just like changes everything again, and that's either a kegerator or a keezer. Now, to show you quickly, there, it's my keezer, the gas set up with an Inkbird and the hand pull. Now, this one's a bit more expensive. I did get a chest freezer. I had a chest freezer before that held a lot more, but it only lasted a couple of years. I think I bought it for 40 quid off someone down the road. Little old couple that had it in their outdoor shed and kept veg and that in it, but they didn't really need it anymore. So I bought it, had it in here, adapted it, stuck taps on everything. It lasted a couple of years, but did go kaput in the end. Obviously, changing temperatures in a shed is a bit different to being in your house. So I spent a bit more money this time and bought a proper shed garage one that works fine with the change in temperatures and should still last me a good few years. So this one was a bit more expensive. This was I think it was about 160 quid and only holds 3 kegs at the minute. I'm hoping if I can get an idea of the other kegs that you can get, maybe I could squeeze a 4th one in. It'd be tight, but you never know. But anyway, I've got 3 kegs, 3 taps, and a hand pull. I mean, I can't have all these on at once because I've only got 3 kegs and I've only got space for 3 kegs in there. Keep the gas, etc., on my board with the secondaries. This changes things so much. I mean, time it takes for me to wash bottles, prime them, and fill. I can have a beer tapped, kegged, and serving. I could be sat drinking it. I could sat drinking in the time it takes me just to prime bottles, to wash and prime them. So it's a whole game changer in that, and you've got the carbonation you want in them. Okay, so you do want a bit of a cask feel. Got a hand pull. Still using a keg, but just a little bit of a low pressure just to hold it together and stop oxygen getting in. That's it. It's brilliant. So that's definitely a massive game changer. I mean, bottling takes forever. It would put me off again. And then you got the storage, as I say, a constant. You want them 18 to 20 degrees just to get that secondary fermentation. I'm into skill, but it's a skill I couldn't be asked with anymore. I just want to keg it, get it in, got it on tap, then I can drink it. And that's the main thing, isn't it? Drinking it. So number 5, my final item is got to be vacuum sealer. Another absolute game changer. Get a vacuum sealer and you've got malts. Oh, sorry, I'm all over here. End up with malts. You got spare, like, I've got 130 grams there of craft for 3. I can store it in here. Just store it in this. Vacuum sealed. Perfect. Hops, I open a bag of hops, don't use all the hops. Vacuum seal it, back in the freezer. And the beauty of that also is, being into food and such, vacuum seal steaks, etc. with things in, sous vide it. I make bacon, put all the ingredients in, the curing salts, etc. Vacuum seal it, vacuum sealer. Massive game changer for me, I believe. They're absolutely quality. So, that's my 5. I'm interested to know anybody else's 5. So, If you want to put it in the comments, let me know. Or do a video and put a link to me so I can see. So, cheers to Jimbo for the idea. It's a good idea. And also, Big Banana, who I think is coming at it from a different direction. The same thing, unless he'd seen it as well and thought he'd have a go with it. So yeah, they're my 5. They mix. I mean, I wasn't. The idea is not to actually talk about the actual brewing equipment they use. You know, like whether you're using a 3-ton system or whether you're using a all-in-one system, whatever. We're not talking about the systems themselves. Just the extras, the other side of it. The things. I mean, you could do your brewing in the boiler and a bucket. There, but this is the extra bits. Just that. Yeah, already. That was mine. Anyway. So, anything else? The football. Yeah. I've gone all out. I had a little rush of blood yesterday. I decided to go triple captain on Salah for today. I don't know why. I think it was the fact he got a hat-trick last week. He's kind of, I might do it again. Yeah. No, I'm moving up. I know I'm a game behind pretty much most people, but I've moved up 3 places. I think I'm on 4th from bottom now, so I'm like, yay! So that's good. So yeah, we've got Brighton, haven't we? Hi, Graham, if you're watching, Mr. Graham Hughes. I believe you're a Bluebird fan. Good luck today. I know last season you beat us at home, smashing our record, ending it, and our record run of home wins. But I think I'm confident today. I am. I wasn't confident last week, and we romped it, and it was probably the best game I've enjoyed in God knows how long. Even the Champions League final, I'd probably put it below the 2004 Champions League final and below, I think it was the 2005 FA Cup final. I think I put it below those two, but definitely up there as certainly. I probably better than the 4-1 win against Man U when Ronaldo started the scoring with the penalty and then Torres tore Vidic apart and he was never the same player again, that guy Vidic, after that. Yeah, so it was absolute quality, and I'm now confident in this one, so we're about to absolutely get walloped, aren't we? That's how it goes, I think. Right, well, this has been a quarter of an hour, just over, so I'll say cheers, and what time is it? We're at 10 to 3 now, so I better go get ready to watch the game. Cheers, and catch you in the next one.